welcome. Can everyone hear me? Shout out to... Okay, thank you for letting me know. Shout out to Fortina. Welcome, everyone. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to, is it Charlie? Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Janella. Shout out to Val. Shout out to Markellius. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Genesis. Congratulations, Markellius. Shout out to Ella. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Welcome. Shout out to Kim. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome, Ella. Shout out to Stella. Shout out to Montserrat. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Myron. Whoops, there we go. Shout out to Amirul. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Pokemon Mania. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Pokemon Mania. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Ruben. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Sponge Games. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Rory. Shout out to Rylan. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Amisha. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Sailor. Shout out to James. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day. Shout out to Siam. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to Arlo. Shout out to Sage. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Smither. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Lindsay. Thank you for subscribing. I kind of messed up your name right here. I'm going to rewrite it. There we go, much better. Shout out to Cooper. Shout out to Winston. Shout out to Olive. Shout out to Rosalinda. Shout out to Greco. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Florence. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Orion. Shout out to Siamara. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Kian. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Ziana. Shout out to Santiago. Shout out to Hope. Shout out to Brianna. Thank you, Lindsay. I hope you have a great day too. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Sailor. Shout out to McKenna. Shout out to Jet. Shout out to Vox. Shout out to Not Applicable. Shout out to Lainey. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Jetty. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Jasmine. Oops, I forgot the E. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Allie. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Corey. Thank you. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Denaya. Shout out to Zariah. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Crew. Shout out to Dreams. Shout out to Brianna. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Forrest. Shout out to Althea. Shout out to Heather. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Brianne. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Adeline. I don't know if I spelled Adeline correctly. Shout out to Carolina. Shout out to Lillian. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Morgan. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Morgan. Shout out to Valentino. Shout out to Amaya. Oh my goodness, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. There we go. Shout out to Etta. Shout out to Jacoby. Shout out to Gary. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Morgan. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Isaias. Shout out to Rainy. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Shannara. Shout out to Miffy. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Lewis. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Violet. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day. On to the next page. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I hope you can subscribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Okay, write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. And there's a poll. It's which one do you prefer, day or night? Shout out to Brantley. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Eden. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Hansel. Shout out to Miriam. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Chase. Shout out to Milo. Shout out to Koenani. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Jada. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Yoseli. Thank you. Have a great day as well. Yoselin. Sorry. Shout out to Yoselin. Shout out to Angelina. Happy birthday. Shout out to Jasper. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Silver. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Henry. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Selma. Shout out to Angelina. Shout out to Today. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Selma. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Heesung. Shout out to Dina. Shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Shamsa. Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to Afra. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Matthias. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Hazi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Fernando. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Manuary. Or Manari. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Karas. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Isaias. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Zaid. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Jofani. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to, is it, I don't, Gedrian? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Haifa. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Brantley. Shout out to Afoma. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Elizabeth. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Jacelyn. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Advik. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Beckham. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Athme. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Yaron. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Miguel. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Jalea. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Jackson. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Timmy. Shout out to Dina. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Millie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Zariah. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Easton. Shout out to Zara. Shout out to Lulu. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Lottie. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to Val. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Elamir. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Malaysia. Shout out to Christina. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to Soren. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Nevaeh. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Simon. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Also write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Thank you for being here. My channel is Nesty at Y Corner. If you want to check out my channel, I post other content as well. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Narmeen. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Reem. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Lillian. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Gigi. Shout out to Tyra. Shout out to Heather. Shout out to Lulu. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Keegan. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Keegan. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to Joy. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Melissa. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Brianna. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. I don't write the fastest. So thank you so much for your patience. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Sayuri. Shout out to Caroline. Shout out to Kingsley. Whoops, I messed up. There we go. Shout out to Uriah. Shout out to Eduardo. Shout out to Remy. Shout out to Love. Thank you so much for your patience. Shout out to Joyce. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Lulu. Shout out to Ivy. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Monica. Shout out to Claire. Shout out to Mimi. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Edwin. Shout out to Joyce. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Miracle. Shout out to Siri. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Lanaya. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Braylon. Shout out to Mom. Shout out to Renz. Shout out to Kian. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Care Bear. Shout out to Aria. Happy birthday. Shout out to Danielle. Shout out to Piper. Thank you for subscribing. Oops. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Zoe. Sorry, my hearts are coming out so messy. Messier than usual. I'm trying to keep up. Shout out to Justin. Happy early birthday. Shout out to Madison. Oh my goodness. I messed up. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Navika. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ashton. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Reina. Shout out to Aziz. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Colleen. Shout out to Jade. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Cohen. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Shout out to Abby. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Shout out to Lawson. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Aaliyah. Thank you for your patience. I know I don't write the fastest, so I'm so sorry. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Damien. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Drew. Happy birthday. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Liliana. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Sierra. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Loyalty. Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Demi. Happy birthday. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Evelyn. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Marley. Shout out to Stacy. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Kaylin. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Ken's. Shout out to Damia. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ellie Pash. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Ellie. Thank you so much. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Joandri. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Sylvia. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Catalea. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to these people. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for your support and patience. Thank you so much for your patience. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the shout outs. I live stream every day around the same time as this or a little bit later. Thank you so much for being here. Also, check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. If you're interested, I post other content as well. Not just the shout outs, but also the other content on YouTube Shorts. If you're interested, please check it out. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Valerie. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Hazen. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Alejandro. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Gianni. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Yonita. Thank you. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Cami. Shout out to Gagilero. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Lucy. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to KK. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Mac. Shout out to Travis. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Pranavi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to Heba. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Andrew Lewis. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Gio. Shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to Kian. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you, Angel. I know I try to write fast, but it doesn't work. Shout out to Shania. Shout out to Brownie. Shout out to Miguel. Shout out to Zizzy. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Carmen. Shout out to Zizzy the Zebra. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Amir. Shout out to Dio. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Nola. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, thank you for the little hearts. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Yuna. Shout out to Deborah. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Jocelyn. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Aria. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Devin. Shout out to Hania. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Celine. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to Celine. Oh, I already put Celine. Oopsie. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Sunzi. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Stray Kids. Shout out to Astro. Shout out to Uriah. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Cedra. Shout out to, is it Monk? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Zayden. Shout out to Dino. Shout out to, write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to Joanna. Shout out to Araceli. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Miguel. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Shout out to Kyson. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Joelle. Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Dirt Bros. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to April. Shout out to Sandoval. Shout out to Jaylene. Shout out to Enzo. Shout out to Raul. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Mariana. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this or a little bit later. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. My name's Ness and my channel is Ness DIY Corner. If you are interested, I hope you can check it out. I post, I do tutorials like this, like greeting cards. I do greeting cards like this. If you're interested, I also do birthday cards like this or holiday cards. And this one too. Normally a lot of birthday ones, but like I did Valentine's Day, I did and I think I might do St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so if you're interested, please check out my channel. Thank you for being here. Shout out to May. Shout out to Vaxin. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Janaline. Janalyn. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Isla. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Scoops. Whoops, I messed up. Shout out to David. Shout out to Bexley. Shout out to Karen. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Marcella. Shout out to Sarada. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Absolutely I Don't Know. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Tanvir. Shout out to Kennedy. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Alana. Shout out to Vera. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Grayson. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Olive. Shout out to Giovanni. Shout out to Bexley, I got you. Shout out to Ward. Shout out to Serenity. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Shauna. Shout out to Ava. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Parker. Your support means the world to me. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Ada. Shout out to Lainey. Shout out to Corina. Shout out to Jamie. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Thank you for your support. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Marina. Shout out to Jihad. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Raphael. Shout out to Stay. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Ryan. Or Ryan. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Emery. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Kat. Shout out to Martha. Shout out to Simone. Shout out to Marina. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Anne. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to River. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Remy. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Nevaeh. Shout out to Annie. Shout out to Clayton. Shout out to Kenneth. Shout out to Faye. Shout out to Rar. Shout out to Rodrigo. Shout out to Draco. Shout out to Frimpong. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Joy. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Zayden. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to, thank you, Stephanie. Shout out to Addison. Happy almost early birthday. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Cat's Eye. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Yoons. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Else. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Zadla. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Partyzilla. Shout out to, thank you, Bree. Thank you for your support. Shout out to, thank you, Stephanie. Shout out to Riker. Shout out to Adish. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Celine. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Cristiano. Shout out to Samir. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Aurelio. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Ronaldo. For those of you that like soccer, place your vote. Shout out to Messi. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Rodena. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Josie. Shout out to Yoon Jin. Shout out to Brie Garcia. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Ismael. Shout out to Kara or Kara. Shout out to Nia. Shout out to Cyril or Cyril. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to these people. Please leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Place your vote if you're into soccer or you've heard of these soccer players. Thank you so much for being here. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also, please like and subscribe. I live stream every day around the same time as this. My channel's Nest DIY Corner. I hope you can check it out. Shout out to Ibrahimovic. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Dahlia. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Ada or Ada. Shout out to Bang Chan. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Gemma. Shout out to Hee Seung. Shout out to Romello Massey. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Jemiah. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Julian. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Jeffrey. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Zidane. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Sanchez. Shout out to Oscar. Shout out to Nazia. Shout out to Aurelio Sanchez. Shout out to Kimani. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Faison. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Cast your vote if you haven't. If you're into soccer. Shout out to Neymar. Shout out to Jaziel. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Foster. Thank you. Shout out to Iglas. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Ada or Ada. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Venna. Shout out to Suarez. Shout out to Ezalea. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to, whoops, I messed up. There we go. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Danny. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Ricardo. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Liviana. Shout out to Jungwon. Shout out to Carlina. Shout out to Tay. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Madison. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Zero. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Harley. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Lillian M. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jungwon, I got you. Shout out to Biljana Banovic. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Puyo. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Clarianne. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Oakley. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Legend. Shout out to David. Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Rumi. Shout out to Foster. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Riker. Shout out to Bhupendra Joji. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Felicia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Barker. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Seth. Shout out to Legend. Thank you. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Chelsea. Shout out to Josie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Kenzie. Shout out to Troy. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to, is it Lena? Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Caitlin. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Price. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Anthony. Happy birthday. Shout out to Malia. Or Malaya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Pamela. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Glam. Shout out to Shauna. Shout out to Holland. Shout out to David. Shout out to Melina. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Thank you so much for being here. I know I don't write the fastest, so I appreciate your time and your patience. Thank you so much. Also, if you're into soccer, answer the poll, the community poll. Shout out to Diana, happy birthday. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Melody. Hold on, let me write it first. Melodies? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Corbin. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Esteban. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Shelly. Shout out to Malaya. Shout out to Alex Suarez. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Chloe. Happy birthday. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Eden. Shout out to Dakota. Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Lanaya. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Zachariah. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Yuvania. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kylie. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Rory. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Liv. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Dulce. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Gael. Shout out to Musa. Shout out to Cool Kid. Shout out to Kirsten. Shout out to Kason. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Suno. Happy birthday. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Waylon. Shout out to Messiah. Shout out to Trilum. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Den. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Kareem. Shout out to Tawfiq. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Jaslyn. Shout out to Adrian. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Odalis. Shout out to Lilith. Is Lilith with one L? Oh yeah, it is. Lilith. There we go. Shout out to Rosalind. Shout out to Rohi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Indalis. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Yusra. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Fernanda. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Claren. Shout out to Austin Swanson. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Jocelyn. Shout out to Zoe. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, please subscribe. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Harley. Shout out to Jessie. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Michaela. I know, I'm so sorry. I write really slow. Shout out to Lena. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Alice. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Milana. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Shell. Shout out to Eliza. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Matilda. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Lulu. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to Cash. Shout out to Kenzie. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Theodore. Shout out to Colton. Shout out to Regina. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Sienna. Shout out to Jonah. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Sandra. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Thank you so much for taking the time to write your name. And the poll, Ronaldo won by a landslide. So thank you for voting. Super cool to see the votes. I will see you all next time. Take care.